MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And we are in Willow Creek, actually right next door to the Pancakes house that I posted last week. And before, what used to be on the slot was the Bohemian family home that I have on my channel. But I actually changed my mind for my save file. So that is actually becoming just a home and a family idea for really just kind of a random save file, kind of to play around with. But I wanted to make this street more cohesive. So even across the street there, you can see a structure that I was working on that I absolutely love, but I'm going to be stripping it down for my save file because I wanted the homes on this street to look as though they were made by kind of like the same developer. That's kind of what my thought was. So these are just kind of suburban style homes. They are all pretty different. The layouts are all different. The styles are pretty much the same though for the most part. I mean, the Pancakes house is a little bit more lavish just because of the family that lives there and what I was trying to accomplish. But for this house here, this actually belongs to a family that I posted about on Twitter. I did post just kind of their quick little family image and their kind of very short bio because I didn't have as much room as I wanted to actually have to talk about them and what I'm kind of picturing for them and who they are. So this house actually belongs to the Rindle family. So it consists of Ted, who is actually an adult sim. He's looking a little gray. I used that kind of like brown and gray hair that we have, which I thought was perfect for what I was trying to accomplish. And he's in the military career. So basically their story is that he never pictured himself as a family man until he met his soon-to-be wife, Fallon, who is actually a young adult. Literally, I'm thinking college age. I know you don't have university or college or anything, but I'm thinking college age because she is very young. She's not like halfway through that, what am I trying to say, life status, the age status or anything. Like, she is brand new young adult. So I'm thinking she's fairly on the young side, and Ted is a little bit older, so it is a little bit more unconventional, though it's nothing weird, I promise. It just is that there is a significant age difference, like maybe like 9 years or something like that. So I was thinking that when Ted was stationed in Strangerville, since he's in the military career, he met Fallon, who was working at a local bar, is what I was thinking. And she actually moved away from home, or was looking to try to get out of Strangerville, I think all in all, to become an actress. Like, she was trying to follow a dream here, and she ended up meeting Ted and their plans completely changed. It wasn't soon after they met that they wed, and they had 3 children. So they had Mackenzie, and then they had the 2 twins, a little boy and a little girl. And I'm terrible because I don't remember their names right off the top of my head, since I am just kind of reading off the description I posted, so kind of stinks there. But yeah, they have 3 young children. And basically, Ted, with all of the strange goings on in Strangerville, Ted and Fallon decided to PCS, which is a legitimate military term. So it's basically a change of duty station. So I was thinking that they decided to select a new duty station, and they went to Willow Creek to raise their family. And furthermore, so not in the description, I was thinking that Fallon is basically, since she is so young, so like she married someone a little bit older than her, and they immediately started a family, and they have 3 young children. And I feel like at this point she's feeling a little overwhelmed and maybe a little stuck, not necessarily regretful of her decision to start a family. I think she adores her kids, she likes being married, but I think that she still didn't really fully seize the opportunity to live out her dream and accomplish what she wanted to accomplish. So I feel like her and Eliza Pancakes are oddly enough friends, and that's why I put them next door. So I'm thinking that they are neighbors and that they actually really kind of establish a strong friendship. And since the Pancakes have Iggy, who's a toddler, I was thinking, since Fallon is actually she is trying to become an actress, like she's actively pursuing that, it's going to be her career, but since that's not like a you go to work all day job, I figured that she's like, I'm picturing it as part-time. So like she's part-time trying to pick up acting gigs, but the rest of the time she's at home with the kids. And she was kind of feeling a little lonely with her husband being gone at work all the time, or, you know, out for training or whatever the case may be, because we're picturing the military career, right? So I was thinking that she was a little lonely, and she ended up befriending her neighbor Eliza Pancakes, and they had the toddlers play together, so they had little play dates and stuff like that. So that's as far as the storyline kind of goes for them, but I thought it was cool because it's starting to cross a storyline that kind of was established in The Sims 4 already with, you know, a townie family that we got. And it's really kind of integrating what I'm building for my save file with what's already in the game itself. So, woo, that was long-winded. That was like 5 minutes worth of backstory, but this is their home. So, the outside structure is already finished. We're inside and we're working out the kitchen right now. So, I was able to make this a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and there's actually an office downstairs, which, of course, if you didn't want to play this exact family or like this storyline or something like that, you could change the office downstairs to a smaller bedroom, so it could be a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home if you wanted to, which I was pleasantly surprised about. I really didn't think I was going to be able to get that many bedrooms in there, and originally I wanted the master bedroom to be downstairs. I wasn't even thinking of an office when I first kind of laid out the floor plan, because I was thinking the toddlers would have their own room, but the kids actually end up all sharing one room, and I think it works, so you guys will have to let me know what you think. But yeah, we're just kind of finishing up the little touches here in the kitchen, and I really liked it. I use this tile a lot. I think I mentioned it recently in one of my other builds, but it's really pretty, and I liked it in this blue swatch because it actually matches the kind of blue accents on the door frame and the windows of this home. So it's really a white and blue home all together. And I do use this round table, and I add as many seats as I possibly could to keep it against that wall. And I do playtest my build, so I playtested this one, and I made my adult Sims sit at every single chair to make sure that it worked, and it worked just fine. So for the amount of Sims that are actually in this family, I mean, they can't all sit there, I don't think. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could. Once the toddlers are older, maybe they could. But yeah, they can sit at every single chair, so it's not a problem with access there. And then I just add a broom and a dustpan on the wall over there, and then move on to the living room, which I actually really like. It's not as cluttered as I would usually make my living rooms. It's really just not as loud. It's actually very calming. And I think that goes along with just kind of the neutral, kind of tan wallpaper, I suppose, that I chose for the rest of the home. So I kind of went a little mix-matchy here in this build altogether. So like not all the woods necessarily match, and there isn't really I guess a theme, so this is my thought process in that too. So I have experience being in a military family, and basically when you're moving around a lot, you just end up picking up a bunch of random things that may not necessarily match, and you don't get, well, not all the time, but sometimes you don't get the best quality items because you're going to be moving around so much. You don't want to risk like really nice items or really important keepsakes or just really nice pieces of furniture like antiques and stuff. Like, you don't want that stuff to get damaged while you're moving around. So it's a pretty home, but it's not like it's necessarily extravagant, and I actually really like that idea. You know, military kind of thought process aside, I think it's a really nice home. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts on kind of what you guys think of the interior, because it is very kind of simple but still really pretty. I think it's very homey and very relaxing, and I really enjoyed putting it together. So here we're kind of wrapping up the living room. So I had this little side table here near the door, and I was originally thinking that's where they would like put their mail and some other stuff, but I ended up putting just some files and some other decorative items on top of it. So I feel like Dad kind of leaves his files around. It's not really the kids that are messy, it's kind of Dad. I don't really know, but I do add this kind of more casual rug. I think this one came with laundry day, and I thought it was really pretty because we do have that wreath there that kind of sorta matches it, and there's, you know, a couple plants near the TV, and I end up throwing like a kid's teddy bear game. I don't know if it's really a game, it's an activity, the little doctor play set, and 2 little toddler blocks, I think later on in the build, so the kids and the toddlers would have something to do downstairs if Mom and Dad were watching TV. And now I'm kind of trying to figure out how to fill this empty space, so I do put a little console table here, and I just kind of clutter it up with some flowers and lights and, you know, miscellaneous decor items that you would typically do. And I thought it was kind of a nice touch to put the wedding cards here. So granted, they have a child who, I think child Sims, I don't know, they look like they're between, depending on how you make them, they look like they're between like the ages of like 6 and 10 or something. So I don't know. They're not necessarily newlyweds at this point, but I thought that Fallon, the wife, actually just put the wedding cards out there as just a little reminder, a little token to their love and their family and what they've built, and really to show off how proud she is of her family as well. I feel like Dad, Ted, doesn't necessarily care that much. Not that he is indifferent, but he didn't go out of his way to do something like that. So that was my thought. And this is his office down here. So I use that rug that you can unlock with the military career. Of course, I had the BB Ignore gameplay unlocks entitlement cheat. It's a really long one. And I do hang up these picture frames that we got with Strangerville as well that were like military fighter pilots and stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of a nice touch, and I put the clock above the desk and I hang up a few various military flags all around the office. And in the corner, I actually end up putting the medal case here. So when he actually, kept on ranking up or earned certain medals, that's kind of the display case that you get with that career. And let me just say for my save file as well, like he's going to be I think he's like a first lieutenant. So he's pretty far in the career. I wasn't thinking that he was a recruit or anything. Obviously, he wasn't starting from the bottom because he is an adult sim. So I think he's been in for a while. And this is something that he's going to do until he retires. That's my thought process. So he does have a few medals to actually display in that case. It is not empty. And I do shuffle things around a little bit in here as well. And I give him a guitar. I figure that might be how he kind of relaxes while he's kind of doing paperwork in the office for whatever reason, or, whatever he ends up doing in here. This is like his private study. I actually, when I jumped into this household, I did lock it for everyone but him. So no one can go in this room, like Fallon can't go in, the kids can't go in, it's just for Ted, and he also has a bathroom off of this office. So that bathroom downstairs ends up really just being his, so it was kind of a downfall from connecting the bathroom to only this office room, because it is nice to have that second bathroom. So, we could always shuffle the door around, but I liked it the way it was, so I kept it there. And you'll see a lot of, like, cacti and some other photos that are of like desert landscapes and stuff like that. So I was thinking, a token to Strangerville. So they really enjoyed Strangerville for what it was. It was where they met. Like, it's really important to them. It's an important place. And they want to remember it before things got weird. I think that's what I was kind of going on as I place items like that, and I end up placing them upstairs in the bedroom a lot too. So here's just one of the bathrooms. It is very nice. I go with, this kind of neutral color palette throughout the bathrooms as well. And now I'm just hanging up some other artwork on the empty wall spaces, and I moved on upstairs to the bedrooms and a little hallway and the second bathroom. So there's actually a balcony off the back. So this is the master bedroom, and that's where you can access the balcony. I didn't think it made sense to give the kids that access to the balcony, and I kind of struggled as to where to put the bed here because there was really no good place, and I don't like when beds block windows, so I ended up putting it up against this wall, and I ended up putting these two side tables here because I couldn't fit kind of your average side table. I suppose a lot of the side tables are really big, so it was kind of nice to be able to turn these on their side and squeeze them in here. And I use these Jungle Adventure lamps because I don't get to use them too often, but I thought they really worked because of that neutral kind of brown color. Worked with the bed, worked with the walls, worked with kind of the desert aesthetic that I have going on just all in all for their home. And I, of course, used the new rug from Strangerville as well. I thought that was really pretty. And Strangerville kind of makes me think of like maybe small town Texas, because I actually did live in Texas at one point, and that's what it kind of makes me think of. So that rug in that specific swatch kind of looks like a lot of stuff that you will find in Texas, like the bedazzled turquoise belts and stuff like that. This is what the rug kind of reminded me of, just kind of that aesthetic. So I thought it worked perfectly. And then there's just kind of a suitcase with a stack of books and some other file boxes and stuff like that. And I clutter up the dresser, and I put more desert photos here on the wall. And now I just put like a little armchair in this corner. I thought this one was really cute with kind of this, it's kind of a mustard yellow, and I thought it kind of worked with the color scheme. I mean, the green's a little off, and nothing is really bright yellow like this, but it kind of works with the browns and everything. So I ended up making this little nook here to laundry nook. So I have the stacked washer and dryer there, and then just a pile of the decoration storage so they can actually decorate the house. It's something that I don't always remember to include in my builds, but it is something that's very necessary because I love seasons and I love the different holidays and the different kind of like decorations and just little tiny tidbits of gameplay and decoration that kind of came along with that in celebrating holidays. I adore it. And on that balcony, I just put a little chess table and another little chair, and that's about it. And then we move on to this little hallway, which I never know what to do with hallways. I've probably mentioned it before, but I have no idea. It's usually like a plant or a mirror or a console table or like a seating area, which, surprise, that's exactly what I do here. I grab this mirror here and I put it at the top of the stairs because that's something that I actually had in my house growing up, was a mirror right at the top of the stairs. It always kind of shocked you when you walked upstairs and you saw yourself and you were like, "Ugh, hi, whoa, didn't expect that. So I put it at the top of the stairs there, and then I put this high-backed love seat from Cats and Dogs, and I never use this item because I don't like using it in the middle of a living room because it is high-backed. Like, I don't like how it looks. I think it should be against a wall, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to use it. And then I clutter up the side table. I do get the little snow globe of what looks like Oasis Springs, but again, I was thinking of that kind of Desert Strangerville vibe, so maybe it was a little snow globe from a city near Strangerville or something like that that reminds them of home. And then this is the kids' bedroom, so I do put a single bed here on this side, and then the 2 toddler beds are on the other side, and then this other little nook ends up being the dresser. But I thought it worked for 3 of them because what you can do obviously is change out the toddler beds when they age up, and they will still fit in that area, which is perfect. So all 3 kids do share a room. I mean, it could get a little cramped. It's not like they can do many activities in here, but I thought it was okay. I really liked how it came out too because, you know, I try to make them pretty neutral in color, but this was just kind of fun to put together. And I do put that other little snow globe of, I don't remember the name, but it's kind of like the woodland creature that is a representation of Granite Falls. So I do think that this family loves being outside too. So downstairs I placed a lot of those like map wall decorations, and that's what I was kind of thinking. So they're a very outdoorsy family as well. And I do put the kids kind of like play table outside because it didn't really fit in the bedroom, but I put a toy chest at the end of the bed, a dresser, and this is where I toss the kids and toddler toys downstairs in the living room. And then I do give them a little tablet so the toddlers can use the tablet. And there's a violin for the child sim, Mackenzie. And it's not too cluttered. Usually kids' rooms I like to make really cluttered, but this one's not because, again, I was thinking that they are a military family and they try to travel light because they are maybe moving around so much. So the kids don't have too many things. They don't have like an exorbitant amount of toys or anything like that. And then I just add a little pillow seat here in the middle. And then I ended up moving it over to the end of the bed so it's not accessible, but I end up putting this little toy on her bed, which I thought was cute. And I use this little giraffe decoration that I do not use very often at all. And I add some artwork to the walls because I did want it to look at least cutesy and homey and comfortable. And then I just add a rug. I don't keep this Cats and Dogs one because it just didn't work, but I end up taking the one from my Everett's Pet Stuff. And that is not a pack I use a lot because, I mean, it's not my favorite. But I love that rug because it's pretty versatile. I will say that. And now I'm just going to furnish the second bathroom. So since there are 2 toddlers in this home, that's when I realized I needed a tub at least. So I do the shower tub combo here in this bathroom. And I do put 2 little toddler potties, so it's not like they have to fight over it, especially if they are trying to potty train both of them at once. I thought that that was kind of necessary. And yeah, I thought it was a really nice neutral bathroom as well. This is kind of like more so the master bath, though of course every member of the family uses it. But I do put the robes that are hanging there, and I add a countertop here with just some additional towels and yeah, just kind of random decorations. I think there are some candles and stuff, maybe a plant on top of there too. So it's nothing crazy, but it is a very pretty kind of like earthy toned bathroom, just like the one downstairs. And that to me is very comfortable and very relaxing. So I had a lot of fun actually building these bathrooms, and I don't say that a lot. Putting together bathrooms isn't necessarily the most fun part about doing builds, so I actually really enjoyed these bathrooms though because they are a little different than ones that I've done in the past. And now I'm actually switching out all of the overhead lights. So typically that's something I do when I finish a room in particular, but I waited a little bit just because I don't know why, no good reason, but I do go ahead and switch out all the overhead lights. And that's when I realized I didn't really finish downstairs. So the little entryway, I just wanted to add a little more. So I had a coat rack and a backpack, and then I add one of these little egg chairs. That's what I kind of call them because they look like little eggs or little acorns or something that came with Island Living. And I was thinking that that is one piece of furniture that the family really values. Maybe it came from one of their travels, maybe from one of their duty stations, and it actually has survived all of the moves, so I thought that was really neat. And then I add a little seating area out here on the front porch and just a little side table with a candle, as I typically do. I was going to add an outdoor rug, but it didn't really look right, and I couldn't really find one that I thought worked very well. I liked the one from, I think it was like the outdoor backyard stuff pack. And then I have the flower arranging table here, so maybe Fallon kind of dabbles in that a little bit, and just some more flowers and stuff like that. And then in the backyard, I kind of futz around with it a little bit because I wanted that kids table, but I also wanted a small seating area because the backyard is not that big. I kind of wanted more of a backyard, but I couldn't really make it work. I really liked the way the house came out, so I didn't want to change it. And I was excited I got to use these flowers from Island Living too. I kind of failed to mention that. They were so pretty, and I thought that this color actually worked perfectly in Willow Creek. So that was kind of cool too, and it was very relaxing, and it added a lot of character to the lot itself. But yeah, I just kind of futz around with this a little bit, add a little pathway, and that's pretty much it for the build. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Let me know what you think of this build, and I will catch you next time I post a video. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, Miss Magical, what you up to? Can I have a minute of your time? You want me to turn my heel and forget you? All I know, it can't be done. I'm only asking once, would you let me take a minute of your time? You might just be surprised at where it gets you. All I know, I'm in it for the ride. Oh, you don't care if you hurt me. Call me early morning, it was up, babe. You was out late last night, drinking with your girls and you come through. But every time you do, we fight. I'm only asking once, can we not do this? I don't wanna fight all night. I'd rather kiss your lips and undress you and take you on your favorite ride.